haven't punched someone in a long time. I guess I could do it again.
When people early on in the panty, when people were like, "Oh, I miss just sitting down in a cafe and just watching the people go by. I miss petting dogs in the grocery store or whatever it is. I miss punching. I miss just punching people." Now with the social distance, my arms ain't that long.
Any y'all miss Fight Club? Man, I miss our Fight Club.
We're not supposed to talk about Fight Club.
Remember we used to meet at 4 Post and just beat the bus out of each other?
I mean, you say that, but that was never a thing we did.
Nope.
That's perfect.
I mean, I do literally miss being in places where I just sit and ignore everybody. Like, there's a certain ambience to a crowd of people around you who will leave you alone, that you're like, yeah, this is my place now.
But you got to be a certain proximity to them for them to notice they're being ignored. You know,
it's very cat energy.
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna sit.
I'm gonna be just close enough so that you know that I'm ignoring you.
Yeah, you want them to know you're ignoring them, but you also don't want to be too close. Because sometimes you get those people who are like, I'm going to engage with this person wearing the giant headphones because they seem like they want to be talked to. And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know how much bigger my headphones can get to signal that you need to leave me alone.
Yeah.
Man, I
sat next to a guy on an airplane who explained my whole business model to me. And no amount of headphones could keep him away. Nowadays, there'd be at least a seat between us.
We were just talking about Fight Club, and you're like, I just sat next to a guy on an airplane who explained my entire business model. It's like, are you sure it wasn't you, or you imagining yourself sitting next to you explaining the whole thing to you the whole time? And
I gave myself my card and said that my daughter owns Etsy. So it's the damnedest thing.
My daughter owns Etsy.
That was
that's actually kind of adorable dad energy.
Like, he was very proud of her, for sure. If she exists,
that's the kind of awkward thing my dad would potentially say, just like because he doesn't necessarily understand that Etsy is more than just a single thing.
I think my worst one was at a Starbucks at a PAX. I decided to go. Like, it was a little bit busy, but it was like a little further from the venue, so it wasn't super busy. But they were playing like Final Fantasy music. And I was like, I'm going to sit here on this. I'm going to only take up a stool space, so I'm not taking up a table. And I'm going to have, like, some me time before I go to the event. It'll be great.
Meet time.
And this rando sat beside me, who I would have preferred was anyone who even knew who I was. But it was just this somewhat slightly older guy. And he was so mad at the music that they were playing. He complained that it was too loud, and he was talking to me, and I'm just like, please don't talk to me about the music. And he started calling the music like this hack music that he could do so much better. And I'm just like, you are listening to like some of the most iconic Final Fantasy fighting music. Like, I don't play Final Fantasy, but I recognize this music. And I'm like, oh my goodness, you are not aware of the nerddoms that are going around you and why that all the other people here like this music and you're the only person who hates it. And he like got a staff person to tell them it needed to be turned down. But then he brought the staff person over to me to get me to agree that the music was too loud and they needed to, and I'm just like, what? I just wanted to drink this overpriced coffee thing. Tea. Like, what? Why are we? Who are you? Why? Okay, there's like 60 other nerds here you could be bothering, but why me?
That nerd needs friends. Like, the thing that happens at conventions that I very much don't miss, I think maybe any nerd gathering, is that assumption like you and I, stranger, chose this gathering and therefore we are the same. I don't. We are of the hive mind, and I don't have to explain or argue any of my opinions with you because you have the same opinions. And I'm just going to confidently go forth on that assumption. Like,
there's something nice about being in a space where you do know you share things with other people, and I get where they're coming from to an extent, but often people assume we share a lot more than we do, and then it's unpleasant.